only time will tell. She's a little nervous, but I'll be home soon. There's a breaking chorus, feel it in the air. Are you waiting for us? We'll be home soon. There's a breaking chorus, feel it in the air. Are you waiting for us? Are you waiting for us? Are you waiting for us? We'll be home soon. Yeah, I'll be home soon. I'll be home soon. Yeah. Days keep ticking by, but memories never die. Still waiting for you to come home. Can't change it if I try. I always wonder why. When all this time I should have known. Memories fade, but you stay the same. Never saying what you know. I can't read into everything. Tell me where's your heart to go. I need a little sunshine, baby. Don't want no baby. I'm missing you tonight. You know you got me going crazy. A love so hazy. This ain't no paradise. I need a little sunshine, sunshine, sunshine in my life. I need a little sunshine, sunshine, sunshine in my life. Drifting like the wind, you couldn't let me in. You're always running alone. I had you by my side, no need to run and I don't do this, not on your own. Memories fade, but you stay the same. Never saying what you know. I can't read into everything. Tell me where's your
We believe in the power of prevention. We believe that if you believe in living a healthy lifestyle, prevention can be your most powerful tool.
We persist through trials of temptation and peer pressure. Adversity makes us who we are.
Prevention is our passion. We're here to make an impact.
What we focus on grows, and there is strength in numbers. By being the majority today and every day, we are focusing on good choices and positive habits to create a better future.
We believe.
We persist.
We prevent.
We are the majority.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me. My name is Jade Eilers, and I am your Miss Ohio High School America 2020. I'm also the host of tonight's virtual We Are the Majority rally. The rally began 9 years ago as a way for young people to demonstrate their commitment to living healthy lifestyles free of drug and alcohol misuse. Youth organizers wanted to show adults and other young people that stereotypes depicting teen drug use as normal were not only harmful but untrue. They knew that the majority of teens do not misuse drugs or alcohol, and they brought awareness to this fact with a concert, motivational speakers, and a march to the Ohio State House to rally around their shared ideals. This is a rally like we've never experienced before. We can't march, can't stand beside one another, but we can still celebrate the fact that we are the majority and make sure everyone else around us knows it. I'm a second-year member of the Ohio Youth-Led Prevention Network Youth Council. We plan the rally along with the staff at Prevention Action Alliance, a nonprofit that supports drug misuse prevention and mental health promotion by working with youth-led groups, grassroots coalitions, and other partners in prevention in the state of Ohio. Prevention Action Alliance, OYLPN, and the We Are the Majority rally are funded by the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services. The theme for tonight's event is We Believe, We Persist, We Prevent. It represents the journey that a young person takes from being a healthy decision maker to prevention advocate. Many of you watching are somewhere on that journey. Maybe you've just recently made the decision to prioritize healthy decisions. Maybe you're developing coping mechanisms to handle stress better. Maybe you're working with your peers to make your community a healthier, happier place to grow up. No matter the reason, we want to hear why you've chosen to be with us tonight. After all, this is a rally, right? So make your voice heard. Reach out to your friends and tell them to tune in to the virtual We Are the Majority rally. Go to preventionactionalliance.org/majority to sign our virtual banner to let everyone know that you are in the majority. Send us questions and post on social media why you believe, persist, and prevent using hashtag WATM20. We might answer your question or read your comments while we're live, so start typing. Every year, the rally is emceed by youth council members who come together from across the state of Ohio to plan prevention activities like this. Because of social distancing, we couldn't bring everyone together this year, but I did get the chance to interview a few of my fellow members to explore the theme of we believe, we persist, we prevent, and what it means to them. First up, Rashawn Kumar will talk about We Believe and how it's helped him cope with COVID-19. Hey Rashawn, I'm so excited to be interviewing you, even if it is 6 feet apart. You obviously know that the theme of this year's rally is We Believe, We Persist, We Prevent. What does We Believe mean?
We believe means we believe in healthy choices. I'm sure that everyone watching has at least experienced mental health issues once in their life. And during those times of difficulty, it is really easy to turn to drugs and alcohol. Being able to maintain healthy choices is really a good way just to maintain a healthy lifestyle.
I'd have to agree, that's awesome. What kind of coping mechanisms have you been using the past couple months?
During the peak of the outbreak, I felt a lot of stress because my parents and some of my friends are either in the danger zone or are immunocompromised. So to be able to relieve a little bit of that stress, I started working out with my mom. We would wake up at 7 or 7:30 in the morning and we would lift weights or do some cardio for half an hour just to get the day started. And this also had the added benefit of me being able to spend some extra time with my mom.
I definitely applaud you for waking up at 7 in the morning. I can tell you that I have not been doing that, so kudos to you. Can you tell us a little bit about why you believe in living a healthy lifestyle?
One of the first pushes that I got towards living a healthy lifestyle came from my principal of my old school. And that school was filled with drugs and alcohol. It was the first time I had dealt with the temptation of drugs and alcohol in my life.
So what was tempting about it?
the promise of friends. So having that carrot on a stick of having new friends, it was really tempting for me to just give in.
I can definitely see where you're coming from. I know in middle school I definitely did not have a lot of friends, but I know I always had a positive influence and positive people to surround me. So I was wondering if you had any positive influence that helps you stay on the right path and helped you to not use drugs or alcohol.
Yeah, so that old principal was a really good positive influence on me, and she really pushed me hard towards maintaining healthy coping mechanisms, and she taught me how to value my own personal growth and my own health over a temporary source of fun that would ruin my future.
I like the way you phrase that, the temporary source of fun. I think that's so true, and a thing that a lot of people don't realize when they're using these things. Things that are temporary sources of fun tend to be seen as kind of bad coping mechanisms. What kind of a difference does it make for you using these healthy, positive coping mechanisms?
On days that I can't follow my coping mechanisms and I internalize all the stress that I have, I find myself really irritable. However, on days that I can just let out the stress that I have, I find myself feeling a lot happier in everything that I do. And maintaining that happiness long term is something that I really strive to achieve.
That's amazing. So thank you so much for coming down here today. It was awesome to interview you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Rashawn shows us just one example of how believing in a healthy lifestyle can prepare us for the curveballs life throws us. By choosing to grow and learn without the use of substances to help him make friends or deal with stress, Rashawn has been able to look for other sources of relief during quarantine. Reno, Grant, and Hayden know a little something about that as well. Performing under the name Pray for Sleep, this hard rock band from Columbus, Ohio, gives their all to decrease stigma around mental health issues. They encourage their fans to support one another through tough times and reach out for help by screaming back at mental health issues with their rock music and trusted resources. They performed at last year's We Are the Majority rally, and you might catch them at your school next year performing their Scream Back program. Here with songs from their new album, Please Help Me Welcome Pray for Sleep.
What's up, guys? We're a band called Pray for Sleep from Columbus, Ohio. We know there's unusual times and it's hard to find creative ways to have fun while still staying safe. We're going to play a couple of songs for you. We hope you guys have fun with us. This first song is called Stars and Flowers.
Watching stars fall like flowers, every second lasts for hours in this home. These rooms are getting clouded. After all the times we shouted, I can't help but go. Never stay too long, never search for a cause. I guess 2 times couldn't solve what tore you apart. Every time you had a fight, I would run and turn off the light. Try and make me believe there's still room for me. Watch the stars fall like flowers, every second lasts for hours. In this world where you left me alone, these rooms are getting crowded. After all the time we shouted, I can't help but go. What's the point in a second chance? Some things I don't understand. When we thought we had a plan, you came back again. So lie and say it's an ease, that this is still our family. Try and make me believe there's still room for me. Watch the stars fall like flowers, every second lasts for hours. In this
my name is Hayden. There's a lot of big milestones coming up in a lot of people's lives, like graduation, that we won't be able to celebrate together, but we'll be able to celebrate it in our own ways. And I just want to encourage you guys to stay creative, hang out with loved ones, and just do what you love during this time. This next song is called Dear Death.
I'm loading my escape, questioning my fate, contemplating other ways to deal with this pain. I'm needing some attention, searching for direction, wondering how I got here today. This can't be the end of everything. Won't you look in my eyes? I can't wait for anything. I have something to say. Dear death, I'll write you today. I fear the cold when you take life away. Can you please explain why you cause all this pain? I don't know what to say, why you leave my to stay. I can't stop seeing your face, you're always getting away. I'm playing out scenes, what I really wanna be, haunting others in silence and sleep. You can pressure me to sing, try to lie between your teeth, that this last breath will find me relief. This can't be the end of everything. Won't you look in my eyes? I can't wait for anything. I have something to say. I fear the cold when you take life away. Can you please explain why you cause all this pain? I don't know what to say, why you leave us to stay. I can't stop seeing your face, you're always getting away. What I want, what I know, what I've heard. When I'm done, when I go, will I burn? Will it show you a blur? When you come, will you show her you a blur? I saw the devil grinning in my mirror. He said that it's not better till again my turn. Try to tell me I'll be helpless either way, 'cause I don't wanna know what he knows I don't wanna say. There I stood, I looked the devil in the face. As he told me that I meant to be right. But I don't wanna let this go to waste. Even if that means I'll never be okay. No, I'll never be okay. Am I meant to be right? Am I meant to be right? Will I ever be okay? Will I ever be okay?
Hey everyone, my name is Reno. So I just wanted to let you guys know that us in the band and just us as individuals with our families have been going through the same thing as you guys. Being stuck at home, not being able to see other family, our friends, different things like that. Nothing's the same anymore. It's okay to not feel okay. We know a lot of people, including ourselves, have been going through a lot of mental health struggles lately. And I just wanted to remind everybody that there is a lot of resources online. There's a lot of hotlines and different things that you can look into to get help for yourself. And I would also encourage everyone, something that's been going around is trying to talk to 5 people a day. So think of 5 people every day that you can talk to, just, check up on them, make sure they're doing okay, see how their quarantine's been, what have they been doing to, help themselves, be creative, different things like that. So I just encourage everyone to do that, but before you even do that, just take care of yourselves, make sure that you're doing okay, and that you take the steps that you need to feel better and feel as good as you can during this, because it's really hard and it makes a lot of things like depression and anxiety a lot harder to deal with when you're stuck by yourself. With that, our next song is called Scream Back.
That was awesome. Thanks so much for rocking and raising awareness with us tonight. You too can scream back at the stigma surrounding mental health problems by talking about them with your friends and family. Check on your loved ones and let them know you're here for them, and ask for help when you need it. You can also use the crisis text line by texting 4HOPE to 741-741 anytime. As Miss Ohio High School America, I have to have a platform. A platform is an issue or topic that a person wants to change or advocate for. My platform is called Bold and Brave. building our lives drug-free and building respect and values for everyone. And it's inspired by my personal experiences. From a young age, I've been committed to not using drugs because my family was torn apart by them. I grew up without a father because he was lost in addiction. Because of his absence, I grew up always feeling like drugs were better than me. I felt a lot of pain and confusing emotions growing up, all because of my father's addiction, and I never want anyone else to feel that way. I'm so passionate about prevention because I want to prevent the next generation of childhood trauma caused by addiction before it starts. Many people misuse drugs because they want to feel better or they don't want to feel anything at all. A lot of that stems from mental health issues and lack of value seen within ourselves. When people respect and value themselves, they're more likely to live a healthy lifestyle. What we put into our bodies is a reflection of how we treat ourselves, whether that be alcohol, drugs, or even unhealthy foods. When people understand that and learn how to respect and value themselves, they treat others better and make healthier choices because it's what they think they deserve. I love my platform because it allows me to reach and influence a large audience about the importance of drug prevention and anti-bullying, including last year when I spoke at the United Nations on International Drug Prevention Day. I'm excited to see what opportunities arise in the future with my platform, Bold and Brave, which is so important in the middle of a pandemic that affects teens' mental health. That's why we're doing this rally tonight, because we knew we had to support young people in being brave and bold in the face of adversity. To be successful and keep everyone safe during the filming for this event, we took every precaution to keep Prevention Action Alliance staff, the crew here at the studio, and our guests safe. Don't take my word for it, though. Here's a video on the behind-the-scenes making of this virtual event. It's strange to think that wearing masks and keeping 6 feet away from others might be our new normal. We know we'll need strong coping mechanisms to help us adjust. So, to learn more about the relationship between positive coping mechanisms and how young people can persist in their ability to make healthy choices, here's Lapika Narasetti. Hey Lapika, I'm so excited to be interviewing you today. And how about you tell us what persistence means to you?
Sure, persistence to me means committing to a goal and following through with it even when circumstances change or it becomes more difficult than you originally expected.
Can you share with us an example of how you've persisted with one of your goals since COVID-19 kind of made us change all of our plans for the year?
So one of Youth Council's biggest goals has been organizing the We Are the Majority rally. And we've been planning that since the beginning of the year, but due to COVID-19, we've had to adapt to the situation. And we've done that by meeting online and by changing the format of our rally. So even though it's different than we originally expected, we've prepared for it and we've been planning for it.
That's awesome. So outside of Youth Council, how have you persisted in living a healthy lifestyle?
I persist in living a healthy lifestyle by surrounding myself with others who share the same ideals. And I think it's really important for everyone to have that kind of a support network to motivate them through difficulties and to help them persist through challenges that they face in their lives.
I would definitely agree with that. That's amazing that you have that kind of support system. I was wondering, how did you learn about the effects of substance misuse?
I'm really passionate about neuroscience, and that's a subject that I really love and I'm interested in. So it was actually through an independent study of that I learned about the long-term adverse effects of drug abuse. So joining Youth Council helped me to share that knowledge with other teens and make sure that they never started using.
That's amazing. So we hear a lot about coping mechanisms these days. Can you explain to me kind of what a coping mechanism is?
So a coping mechanism is a strategy that people use to deal with negative emotions like stress or other challenging situations that they face.
What does that mean for persisting and leading a healthy lifestyle?
So an example for me is my friends motivate me to live in a healthy way and to avoid negative influences. After homecoming, my friends and I decided to attend a classmate's party, and at that party there was underage alcohol abuse and there was substance misuse occurring.
So what did you all do?
The peer pressure to use may have been high in that situation because we were surrounded by other youth who were using, but we decided to stick together and left as a group, and we supported each other in our decision to not engage in unhealthy behaviors and to live a healthy lifestyle.
That's so awesome. It kind of sounds like you spending time with your friends can kind of relieve stress. That can be a healthy coping mechanism. So what other coping mechanisms do you have since you haven't been able to spend a lot of time with friends lately?
Getting out into nature and taking a walk every day has been a great way to just clear my mind and get some exercise. And for other people, it could be making art, it could be baking, that's a popular one. But finding a coping mechanism that works for you, regardless of what it is a great way to maintain emotional and physical well-being.
I think everything that you said was so amazing. Thank you so much for letting me interview you.
Of course, thank you, Jade.
I'm really inspired by Lapika's dedication to developing and strengthening her coping mechanisms while she's at home. Drug misuse is often a way to cover up ugly feelings and temporarily forget about the bad things that keep us up at night. But it prevents us from processing our emotions and actually dealing with our problems. By persisting in her commitment to healthy choices, Lapika is making sure she's able to take life's struggles head-on so they don't keep her from moving forward. Lori Chris's entire job is focused on helping Ohioans of all ages do exactly that. She's the director of the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, holds a Master of Social Work from The Ohio State University, and has 28 years of experience in the behavioral health field. Please welcome Director Lori Chris.
Hi, I'm Lori Chris, Director of the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services. And as much as we'd like to be rallying in downtown Columbus, enjoying the sunshine and each other's energy, we are so thrilled to be hosting the We Are the Majority rally right now. As we navigate this worldwide health crisis and its impact on each of our families and communities, we know that Ohio's youth are keeping us strong and moving us forward. In fact, you already know how to communicate in a virtual world. You make amazing TikToks, Insta stories, and Snapchats. We need your help. You're the experts. So think about if you know someone who would love to FaceTime or Zoom with family or friends across the miles and offer to help them learn how to do that. Your youth-led prevention team asked me to answer a few questions. The first one is, how do teens deal with the anxiety that they're feeling right now? It's such a great question. Think about ways that you can control the things that you have influence over. Make a schedule for your day or contribute to something outside of yourself, maybe a good cause in your community or helping a neighbor who can't get out do their yard work or run errands for them. Another question that they asked me is, how do you find happiness? This is a really good question and it might take some creativity right now, but you can do it. Read, play a game, maybe cook or bake from a new recipe. You can also start an exercise challenge or write notes and drop them off at friends' homes or Zoom with friends too. These are great ways to stay connected to others. If you need help dealing with any of the feelings you're having, any fear or anxiety, or you want to talk to someone, call the COVID Care Line at 1-800-720-9616. You can also text the number 4 and the word HOPE to 741-741. We're here for you, and we will get through this healthier in mind, body, and spirit. We hope you have a great rally.
Thank you so much, Director Chris, for answering our questions and being a part of our event. Let's check in with the audience and see what people have to say about the rally so far. We've had a bunch of people sign our virtual banner and share their reasons for being in the majority, and quite a few posts online. Craig posted on the Prevention Action Alliance Facebook, "From being one of the founding members of this organization, I want to say I'm so proud and impressed at all of the work you guys have done." Desiree from Ashland signed our virtual banner and shared her reason for not misusing substances: "To live a lot healthier and more positive life with good friends and support systems around me and be encouraging to others." And lastly, Chloe from Newark also shared her reason for living a drug-free lifestyle: "Because it's healthier and safer for not only me but those around me." So true. All right, that's all the questions we have time for right now, but I hope you visit preventionactionalliance.org/majority to sign the virtual banner, and use hashtag WATM20 to send us your questions and let us know why you believe Persist and Prevent. Now I'd like to introduce you to Paragon Project, a band from the Fort Hays Metropolitan Education Center. I was lucky enough to have a chance to sit down with a few former members and current members and learn more about how they work together to make beautiful music and support one another's mental health. How would you describe Paragon Project's music?
I would describe Paragon Project music an extension of soul. All of the music that we perform, even the covers, they definitely come from deep within us, and we do perform them with the utmost respect, not only for the artists, but for our peers and the musicians that we perform with.
What are your songs about?
We write a lot about school experiences and how those emotional roller coasters and ups and downs, how they affect us.
We talk a lot about social issues, whether that be bullying or substance abuse. There's a little bit of that on our upcoming album.
How does the music help you cope with stress?
For me, since I have a mental illness myself, which is depression, I usually use the music to calm me down when I get sad, or every time I go to Paragon practice, it makes me happier than when I was before.
It's been a safe place. It's a place for growth, as well as a place of belonging. So we all kind of form bonds despite what we've been through, and we grow stronger because of it.
What do you think it is about your music that really connects to the young people, and why do you think it's such a big hit at the rally every year?
Watching the videos and seeing somebody that is my age that comes from where I live, seeing that they can do something so amazing, that they can be such a positive change in people's lives, or not even a change, but have just a positive moment in somebody's life. It's encouraging. It's nice to know that you don't have to be from Hollywood. You don't have to be from New York. You can be from Columbus, Ohio, and you can still be doing amazing things, because you don't hear about that stuff. And it's just really inspiring. And I think it's nice to see somebody that looks like you up on a stage.
I think that the rally is a really great place where we can share the amazing things that we're doing. And I'm glad the Paragon Project has been a part of it for so long, because you guys are doing really cool things.
I want to save my life.
thanks to Paragon Project for lending us your videos from before the pandemic so we could persist in having you be a part of the virtual We Are the Majority rally. Paragon Project's 4th volume, Adolescent, will be out soon. Follow them on Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube to make sure you don't miss a beat. Next, we bring you a story from Abby Collier, a member of the Dublin ACT Youth-led prevention group. She is the winner of the first ever We Are the Majority Rally speech contest, and we're excited to share her message about how she came to believe, persist, and prevent.
Hey everyone! Thanks for inviting me to speak at this year's virtual We Are the Majority Rally. I'm excited to share with you guys on why I believe in the importance of healthy decision-making and living a drug and alcohol-free life. Growing up with a police officer as your father can have its perks, such as many free donut runs. However, it also has some downfalls. I have heard about too many teens who did not choose to live a drug and alcohol-free life and how that negatively impacted both them and their families' lives. These stories started to have more of an impact on me when these teens that my dad told me about were now my peers. Kids my age, or a few years older than I was, who had fallen into the path of not choosing to live a life that was free from alcohol and other drugs. Sadly, those choices often led to tragic consequences for them. It frustrated me that somebody or something more hadn't been done in order to help these kids have the ability to make better and healthier choices. So my freshman year, my dad mentioned a group that he thought I may enjoy being a part of. The group was called Dublin ACT Youth Council, whose goal is to promote the drug and alcohol-free lifestyle among their peers. I thought it sounded pretty interesting, and it went in line with how I was already thinking and pretty much leading my life. So I applied to join and was selected. And looking back at who I was when I first started, a shy and quiet freshman, and how Dublin ACT has let me grow as a person and as a leader, this was one of the best decisions that I made. I think it was during my first meeting with the Dublin ACT Youth Council when I realized my why. Why I choose to live a life that is free from alcohol and other drugs. Throughout my meetings with Dublin ACT Youth Council, I've been able to comprehend the importance of healthy living. With how much I learned at these meetings and events that we have, I can see that so many of the stories that my dad has told me were sadly very preventable. I wanted to be a person that could keep my dad from having to share just even one more story. And Dublin ACT Youth Council has given me that opportunity, and I could not be more grateful for that. Every day, I wonder why more of my peers don't make the decisions that I do. And I get it. It's hard to be true to yourself and to your values, and to not give in to the pressures of school, friends, sports, everything that teenagers go through. But with being involved with Dublin ACT Youth Council, I quickly realized that it started with me and my decisions. I chose to believe it was better for my future and my success to not misuse drugs and alcohol. And students have to encourage their peers to want what is best for their future and their success, and to realize the choice of to use or not to use impacts that heavily. Recognizing that I had made this very important decision for myself and by myself was something that impacted my life. For many of my peers in my high school, it is very easy for them to believe that the only reason that I'm even involved in this organization is because of my dad. That I live my life this way because my dad has told me to. The reality is that as teenagers, we all want to please our parents and make them happy, proud of us. But that's only a small part of the reason on why I chose to be drug and alcohol free. I did this for me. Not only because I heard the bad stories from my dad, but because I saw the negative effects and heard the same stories from other students in school. Making the decision to be free from alcohol and other drugs is something the majority of teens do make. Regardless of my dad's occupation, I would still have made the same decisions that I have to get myself to where I am today. He cannot make my decisions for me. I have to be able to make those decisions on my own, to better myself, and I have. I've chosen to be in the majority
the majority of teens who don't misuse alcohol and other drugs. And I will continue to make that decision so that more and more teens can have the ability to join me in the majority.
Youth-led prevention groups are full of young people like Abby, aware of the risks that come with drug misuse, surrounded by positive influences, and driven to make a difference in her community. Our next speaker had very different experiences growing up, but he has the same commitment to improving the lives of the people around him. Joining us from his studio in Westerville, Ohio, here's Mike Nicholson of Flex Fitness.
Hi, my name is Mike Nicholson. I'm just a boy from Brooklyn. Just like Captain America, I grew up in Brooklyn, New York, in a section of Brooklyn entitled Brownsville, which is one of the roughest areas in all of Brooklyn. I was surrounded by drugs, constant violence, seeing death on a regular basis. I had to have my head on a swivel, be alert of my surroundings. It was very stressful. Most of the individuals in my neighborhood, they was always up to doing no good. A lot of my comrades, they ended up either on drugs, selling drugs, in jail, or worse yet, dead. But that didn't happen to me. One of the main reasons why is because my parents helped instill within me values. My parents taught me the values of kindness, and that meant being nice to people and doing things for them even if they could not reciprocate or was in a position to do those things for you. To do them without any expectation of receiving anything. Courage. Growing up in Brooklyn, you need a lot of this. And courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is doing the things that need to be done in spite of the fear. It's good to have a healthy sense of fear because that's what keeps you from doing stupid things and or the wrong things. Patience. To not rush things and or people. To take a breath and analyze the situation and govern yourselves accordingly. Integrity. To me, that's doing the right things even though you may have moments or opportunities where doing the wrong things can gain you the upper hand. To work your plan. And that's the be prepared to think ahead to reach your goals. Respect. To treat everyone the same, regardless of their socioeconomic status and or position. That anyone can change, that it's never too late. That's where patience come in. How to adapt during tough times. You've seen this a lot in comics. Like if you've seen Avengers, Endgame, Ultron, Infinity Wars, all of that stuff, they had to overcome the impossible. They had to persist. And that requires patience. Persistence requires a lot of patience. So I told you that I had a rough time in Brooklyn, right? But that was still home. But if I'm gonna be real, it took a heavy mental toll on me. I brought a lot of baggage with me when I came here to Ohio to attend college. Relocating to a new state, I didn't have any friends. I started to drift away from the core values that I developed at an early age. I felt that things wasn't gonna work out for me. I felt sad, I felt depressed, I felt alone. During the course of my life, I had made 4 suicide attempts. There's nothing wrong with seeking help and getting help, knowing that you need help. I ended up getting a therapist and seeing them twice a week. It was then that I was diagnosed with a bipolar disorder. Again, I felt defeated. I felt helpless. I felt hopeless. I sunk even deeper into depression. After the 4th suicide attempt, I decided that I needed to make a major change, that I needed some extreme help. I had a son, I had met the love of my life, my best friend, who I was able to share my past and my pain with, and she accepted me. She didn't judge me. She loved me even that much more, and she helped me get the help that I needed. So after being in the mental hospital for about a month and a half, things started to align for me. I started coming back to my core values and my faith with the help of my family, my support system. And through them, I gained new values as well. The value of love, to be able to love someone else more than myself. The ability to be compassionate. The ability to have understanding, to listen. And it was with their help of regaining my original core values and the addition of new ones that this new value popped up of growth. The ability to evolve and become greater. You see, I had a lot of obstacles in my way to dealing with prejudice and racism, to people telling me that I wasn't going to amount to anything, that my dreams were not valid. But I overcame all of those things. I didn't give up. I didn't quit. I didn't surrender. I believed that I was meant for something greater. I'm able to help a lot of people now. That's all I wanted to do. I didn't let anyone stop me. I didn't let my situations or my circumstances stop me. I didn't let the label of being mentally ill stop me. You know, I share that, and that's a scary thing at times because you don't know how people are gonna treat you, you know? You're concerned about how you're going to look. But I share these things with you. I share my struggle with mental illness with you, not with the fear of being made fun of. But I share that with you with the hope that it helps somebody out. You know, that my struggles and seeing where I came from will help somebody out. I was able to develop a program called M. Nicholson Hip Hop Fitness all over the city that started out with 5 and ended up with 3,600 participants. People shared with me how much what we do here helps them mentally as well as physically. That's my superpower. What's yours? Thank you. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get into what I do on a regular basis. Y'all gonna join me in moving and enjoying music and dancing as well as getting fit, all right? So let's go. What's gonna happen is you're gonna start off with right, left, both. Up, pop. 1, 2, 3, left. Then you're gonna go left, right, both. Up, pop. 1, 2, 3, right. You got that? Then after that, you're gonna go right, left, 1, 2, 3, left, right. 1, 2, 3, run. 1, 2, pause. 1, 2, pause. 1, 2, pause. 1, 2, pause. After that, you're gonna go to the right like this. Roll, roll, switch, roll, roll. You're gonna do that a few times. After that, you're gonna milli rock it. So you could do it however you wanna do it for the milli rock, okay? So you could go here, 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 or here, here, You could milli rock the way that you want to milli rock. The other move that we're going to do is the Billy bounce. Here, 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 here. All right? So it's real simple. Just follow along. And then the last move, we're going to go back to the right, cross, out, cross, switch, cross, out, cross, switch. All right? And then we go back to the top. Everything is easy. Just follow along. Here we go.
Clean, young clean, though. Baby bad, baby thick, but she mean, though. she all about the green though. I'm a cash money brother, no need no. If you ain't getting money, I don't understand. If you ain't talking paper, I don't understand. If you ain't getting water, I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. If you ain't getting money, I don't understand. If you ain't talking paper, I don't understand. If you ain't getting water, I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. If you ain't talking money, I don't understand. If you ain't talking paper, I don't understand. If you ain't getting dollars, I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. If you ain't getting paper, I don't understand. I tried to paint a picture, need a better cam. I got the money in plastic like a sound. Had to get a money machine just so I can man. Couple extra commas with me, yeah, that's for the fee. You can see the European swag on the feet. You can see the European swag on the clothes. Got a yellow bag when she like a cantaloupe. Millie on the floor, Millie on the couch. Millie on the table, Millie at the house. Watch me Millie rock, I put a simmy out. Took a trip down bottom, passing millies out. If you ain't getting money, I don't understand. If you ain't talking paper, I don't understand. If you ain't getting water, I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. If you ain't getting money, I don't understand. If you ain't talking paper, I don't understand. If you ain't getting water, I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm a real boom, watch me pop through. I'ma need 50,000 for a walk through. I'ma need to get it right before I come through. All the jury, I'ma feeling like an igloo. Fit clean, whip clean, young clean though. Baby bad, baby thick, but she mean though. Don't be mad when she all about the green though. I'm a cash money brother, no need no. Money, I don't understand. If you ain't talking paper, I don't understand. If you ain't getting dollars, I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand.
I don't know if Mike uses TikTok, but I feel like that could easily be the next TikTok dance challenge trend. Thanks so much for showing us how dance can be a fun way to exercise and deal with stress, Mike. One of the ways Mike has been coping with COVID-19 is by offering free hip-hop fitness classes on his YouTube channel, so his clients can stay connected and keep moving. You can join these classes too by visiting his YouTube channel at Flex Fitness LLC. Our last youth interview tonight is with Grant Henry. He'll share his journey into youth-led prevention and will hopefully inspire you to join a youth-led group in your community. Hey Grant, thank you for coming up here today and letting me interview you. So we've heard a lot about youth-led prevention today. How would you define it?
I would define it as young people just supporting and encouraging each other to live drug-free and healthy lifestyles.
I like how you phrased that. Can you share with us how you came to believe and persist in your journey to prevention, whether that be a family influence or a personal experience you might have?
Coming up, I grew up in like a pretty negative environment, and my family influences weren't the best. But through all of that, through all the experimenting with drugs and these things, I was always I knew better. I knew that my decisions were negative, but I fell victim to those things because I lacked foundation and identity.
I definitely can relate to having negative family influences when it comes to seeing drugs and alcohol. But I just want to know what changed for you when you decided to prioritize healthier choices and kind of stop experimenting with drugs and alcohol.
My mother, she stood by my side and supported me through all circumstances. And she helped me to find individuals, specifically father figures, who could really help me to build this firm foundation and develop my character.
That's great. That's great that your mom was able to do that and you were able to have those influences. How did you come to the decision to join a youth-led group?
A young lady named Jenna directed me to the Teen Alliance Council of Warren County, but I really wasn't looking for it. I was just kind of Peyton.
I definitely can see why you could be hating, because I know sometimes those groups, wherever they may be, their members can have a message and then be doing something else on the weekend, so I get where you're coming from with that. But I was wondering what the Teen Alliance Council of Warren County does. Like, what does that group do?
Yeah, so we do like school-specific prevention work when we come together as a county group to like come up with some creative and like supportive activities, such as like some really cool Red Ribbon Week activities and teen dating violence awareness.
How can other young people take the step of joining a youth-led prevention group?
Yeah, so they can just ask around their school administrators and things of that nature, and just ask about youth prevention groups, or you can apply for the youth council.
Yeah, for sure. I know you're definitely a senior on Youth Council, so we'll miss you next year. But we definitely need new people for the Ohio Youth-Led Prevention Network Youth Council, so definitely apply for that. Everything that you said was amazing, so thank you so much for coming up here today and letting me interview you.
Thank you so much, Jade.
A lot of times, people who join a youth-led group are stereotyped as goody two-shoes who don't know anything about hardship. But Grant's story will sound familiar to anyone who's ever made mistakes and then decided to change. Like Grant mentioned, youth-led prevention groups aren't always well known. If you have a passion for making a difference and want to help young people make healthy decisions, you can join a youth-led prevention group. Go to preventionactionalliance.org/majority to sign our banner and let us know you're interested in learning more about the youth-led groups in your area. You can also ask teachers and friends if there's already a group at your school, or look up local drug-free coalitions and find out if they have a youth-led group. Finally, you can grab a few of your friends and your favorite teacher to create your own youth-led group. You can also apply to the Ohio Youth-Led Prevention Network Youth Council. Applications open today for any Ohio student who will be in high school during the 20 to 21 school year. Simply visit preventionactionalliance.org/join to learn more and apply. Before we end the event, we're honored to bring you a special message from Ohio Governor Mike DeWine. Many of you have seen him during his daily press conferences, but he also attended last year's We Are the Majority rally and is back to answer a few of our questions and share a message with all of us.
Hello, I'm Ohio Governor Mike DeWine. I had a great time with your group last year at the Ohio State House. And while we can't be all together physically this year, please know that I am with you in spirit. I support you. I am proud of you for standing up to be counted as drug-free. This is no ordinary time. COVID-19 has brought with it a lot of changes, frustrations, and a lot of missing out on things. Your friends, your sports, your music, and many other activities and events like your prom or graduation. And for that, I'm very sorry. I know it's not what any of us wanted to happen, but I'm confident you will have many more milestones ahead in your future. Please know that as your governor, every decision I make is to protect Ohioans. We're strong. We'll get through this. Hang in there. Now, I've been told some of you submitted some questions that you wanted me to answer. So let me go to the first one. The question was, what do you do to prepare for your daily press conferences? You know, what we try to do in the daily press conference is to really give people of Ohio an idea of what is going on as we battle this COVID-19. And so I talk to Dr. Acton, my health director. I'll talk to the lieutenant governor. I talk to a lot of our team who are doing different things. And so we just try to really bring people up to date, what's happened in the last 24 hours, and what are some of the challenges that we face. Part of the real challenge, I think, is for us to convey to the people of Ohio what's going on from the point of view of medical science, and Dr. Acton is the one who usually does that. I leave the science generally to her. Second question. What's your advice for teens feeling anxious right now? Well, you know, I think we all feel anxious. I think we all worry about what is going on. But I think that understanding the facts and understanding what we can do to help others, what we can do to avoid the COVID-19 from getting it. Having those facts, I think, makes us feel better. We are much more in command of what's going on. The other thing I would say is, I know people are home, but I wouldn't watch TV all day. I wouldn't watch the news all day. I know some people do that, but that probably, you can watch it for a while, but might be time to go read a book, listen to some music, talk on the phone, FaceTime with somebody, but kind of break that up, because I think the constant drumbeat of the news all day is probably not particularly healthy for any of us. Next question is, what's your favorite way to pass the time during the quarantine? My life has been changed in a number of ways. My wife and I can't see our grandchildren. We have 4 that live very close, and we actually can walk down to their house, and we now see them from a distance. Other grandchildren who live close, we, again, can see from a distance. But being able to be with them has certainly changed our lives a great deal. As governor, what we're doing to deal with the COVID-19 is really almost all-consuming. Virtually everything else that I would normally do as governor, I've had to push aside. And I've pushed aside a lot of the reading I normally do. I usually have 1 or 2 books going at the same time. The book I've been reading during this crisis has to do with work, really. It's a book which I would recommend to you. It's about the 1918 pandemic, what was then called the Spanish flu. And it's a fascinating book. Any of you like science? It's got a lot of science in it, and I think you'll find it to be a very interesting book. Well, let me go to the next question. What are you most looking forward to doing once the quarantine ends? Well, I'm looking forward to sports. I'm looking forward to seeing baseball. I hope the major leagues figure out some way to get it back on TV, even if we can't have spectators for a while. So that's one of the things that I'm certainly most looking forward to, and just that, and once we get back to normal, which is not going to be for a while, but having the chance to see people, see grandchildren, see our children that we've not had the chance really to see in person during this quarantine. Overall, I'm looking most forward to us returning someday to really a more normal life here in Ohio. I'm an optimist by nature. I believe that when we get through this, we'll be stronger. We'll be a tougher Ohio. These challenging times are really testing us. Certainly, for sure, they're testing us. But we're showing our resilient spirit as Ohioans. We're trying to prove to ourselves really what we're made of. So as we go through this, Ohioans are strong. We're going to demonstrate that the sun is out, the sun will shine again, and we'll get through this. We'll get on the other side, and we'll move forward. So please be careful as we go through this, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you, Governor DeWine, and thank you to Director Chris, the Ohio Department of Mental Health and Addiction Services, Recovery Ohio, Prevention Action Alliance, and my fellow Ohio Youth-Led Prevention Network council members. We appreciate all of you for tuning in tonight and hope we've made your evening just a little bit brighter. Don't forget to sign our virtual banner and make sure everyone around you knows that you are a part of the majority of young people who are making the healthy decision to live your lives free from drugs and alcohol. Don't let them forget. We are the majority, and we believe, we persist, and we prevent. Thank you for watching. Bye.